our company has ever put in place. We think when you take this in its entirety, you start with this notion of the people-ready business and how we deliver it. In terms of Vista and Office 2007, we have an unprecedented depth of innovation in those products. And then when you add on the over 30 additional products, enterprise versions, upgrades, new clients, and new servers, we think it really is a new day for companies that aspire to make people their #1 asset and give them the tools that really gets that done. We'll look forward to some discussion, question and answer, and of course we'll look forward to meeting with you again when we do our consumer launch the end of January and machines become generally available. Thank you all very much.
So we have some time for questions. We have mic runners, I believe. If you'd please identify yourself before you ask your question. So it's right there. Adriana?
Marco Walski from Facts News Magazine in Switzerland. Given the fact that this is the most important product launch in your history, as you said, with what kind of marketing budget will you support this launch? Also given the fact that there was once a Windows version which you supported with $500 million in marketing.
Yeah, this will be the most widely marketed launch of any set of products Microsoft has ever done. Most of the marketing will break and launch in time, if you will, for the consumer availability. We want people to be able to go out and buy the product. We have a set now of over 300 seminars and roadshows that we're doing for business customers that we're kicking off as part of this kickoff here today. But the real end user and consumer marketing will break starting on January 30th when we make the consumer launch.
Okay, but how many dollars? Is there any figure you can give us?
Under the regulation FD disclosure, I have to remember whether we've given a number. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a very big number. It's more than we spent on Windows 95 and Office 95.
Sasha Salama, Reuters. Can you give us a little more detail about how you plan to educate consumers? Because Windows Vista is probably well known among high-tech savvy folk, but not so well known among the consumers.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure I'd agree with that. I think actually we've got a lot of interest that we've seen, certainly amongst leading-edge consumers, of which there are now millions. People, when you get to a world where today there's, 1 billion computer users around the world, you have tens of millions of sort of leading-edge users who really get out and look at new stuff. That group of people will help bring along their friends. I certainly think you should expect to see most new consumer PCs after January 30th will come with Windows Vista. They will not come with the older Windows XP version. And so we'll get a cycle in which I think consumers will get the product. People will buy new computers. They'll love the product. They'll go out and upgrade. And that'll all be part of the education process.
Right there. Mel, behind you.
Hi, Michael Hickens with Internet News. Earlier in your presentation, you said that there wasn't going to be an upgrade to Windows Mobile at this time. Could you explain why and what the timing would be for that?
Yeah, we're doing Windows Mobile upgrades roughly once a year. That's about its cycle time, if you will. And because of the way the software has to go through with the phones through a certification process at companies like Verizon and others. We just recently finished a release, but you won't see the results of that in market probably for a little bit longer period of time, not more than a year, but a little bit longer period of time, just based upon the cycle time with the hardware manufacturers and with the wireless operators.
Adriana, there's a gentleman up here, okay?
This is Brian Bergstein from Associated Press. You said that there won't be this long of a development time until the next OS, and yet you've also here explained why Vista is such a big break from XP. That being the case, what is sort of left to pursue in the next OS? What sort of could even be possibly given the huge revamp you've already done? How can you do another one that's meaningful in even less time?
I'd give you the time is sort of a funny thing. The tail between XP and Vista is really sort of 3 periods. There was a period where we were working hard on a variety of new technologies, but probably trying to do new things and integrate them together too quickly, and we just lost some cycle time. Then we did a service pack in 1 year, very focused in on security that I think we did a very good job on. And then we did most of what you see in Windows Vista in about 2.5 years, drawing on some of the incubated technologies from before. We will continue to do exciting new releases. There's a lot more that we didn't get to that we would have loved to do from an end user perspective. The amount of new hardware innovation that needs to be supported is really quite dramatic. Shaigan talked about networks. The fact of the matter is he was very kind to the improvements in our TCP/IP stack, but they're pushing the sort of network capacity even faster and want to see ongoing improvements in the networking infrastructure. People want to see ongoing improvements. Paul Ottolini was quite kind, but the shift now in processors is away from single core to many core processors. That requires the operating system, the development tools. So the hardware has a bunch of work we still will need to do. There's a lot we want to do for the IT administrator to continue to make these systems simpler to deploy, simpler to manage, cheaper. There's a lot we're trying to do for the software developer. People will remind us that we want some storage and file system innovation. That was part of the original Longhorn thinking. It's not part of this product. There's plenty to do certainly on that front. There's more to do in terms of graphics and presentation and video in the core operating system. And then, as I said, from an end user perspective, we took great strides forward, but there's still so much more to do. You wrap all that also in the context of this move of the world from software to software plus service, and how you do service enablement inside of Windows is a big theme. You can see what we did in IE7 to enable search to be integrated into the Windows and browsing experience, and there's a lot more service enablement I think you can expect to see from us.
Paul Mooney, Into Network. Hi, Steve. Welcome to New York. Has anyone done a calculation on the man hours behind Windows Vista?
No. Not the man hours, nor the man years, nor the man days, nor the person days or person hours or person anything else. I mean, the truth of the matter is it's hard to tease it apart. When we were working hard on Windows XP SP2, all of those technologies wound up in Vista. Some of the things that we had scheduled for Vista and would have been part of our accounting, we decided that we would ship in other places. There are technologies that we built in other parts of Microsoft and we integrate into Windows. So we don't do that kind of formal project accounting. It's not that valuable to us. But I think it is fair to say it is many, many thousands of man years or person years of effort that went into creating Windows Vista, and it is thousands of person years that went into the creation of Office 2007, let alone the 30-plus other products that we talked about today. The mic, can we turn this fellow's mic on? Oh, it's on now. There you go.
Thank you. Laurent Calix from magazine Challenge Paris, France. Windows Vista seems to be completely different and certainly much better than XP. But you know that people spent hours learning how to use XP and 98 and previous versions of Windows. So are you going to help corporations pay trainings for the employees so that they get used to the new Windows Vista, or will you let them alone with, okay, guys, you have to learn this new fantastic OS now, but do it yourself on your personal time or on our corporation time? But what are you going to do? Vouchers help them with that? How is it going to do?
Well, two things. Number one, we have a broad range of partners who are doing training classes, online trainings, who will come do corporate trainings. So there'll be a good Microsoft doesn't need to do this ourselves. We have partners who really are in this game. For our customers who are, let me call them our most accepting customers, our best customers, those who are part of our enterprise agreement program and our software assurance program, they do get certain kinds of credits that they can use for a variety of our partner services. And